Hello, welcome back to another video. And next week, Monday, April 17th, the annual Boston Marathon is going to be happening. As you know, it's one of the biggest um, sporting events of the year here in mainly New England, but all around the United States for people who want to check it out, people who are running that race from across the country, from Boston to New York to the West Coast to around the world, competing in the Boston Marathon every year. And for the first time since 2004, the people behind the Boston Marathon are partnering with ESPN nationally and WCVB locally in New England, Massachusetts, to offer full coverage of the big race. Mainly if you live in New England, this may be the biggest news for you if you want to check out the games. It's going to be streaming free on WCVV. So WCVV owns all of sorry, Hearst owns all of WCBB rather, and they own a portion of ESPN if you want to get into the technical details. So, as you may know, Hearst launched an app a couple years ago called Very Local, and that offers you all of your local content from Hearst stations, including WCBB in Massachusetts, to offer you news and original content related to everything local. Now, they're promising full coverage of the Boston Marathon, as you can tell right here, and it'll be streaming for free on the Very Local app. So this means if you want to check out the Boston Marathon for free, this is the way you do it. Download the Very Local app on your Roku device if you live in New England. Now, I cannot guarantee that if you live across America, you're going to get the same result. But if you live in New England, if you live in Boston, if you live in Massachusetts, I can guarantee that you're going to have access to free coverage all day of the Boston Marathon. That's going to come on Monday. So let's take a quick look at the Very Local app. So as you can see, if you live in Massachusetts, you're gonna get the Very Boston. But this is what the app looks like. As you can see, you got the schedule, you can replay your local news, and you can take a look at content full screen. When you come down, you get all of the original content tailored to your local area. So if you live in Boston, you get original Very Local series, as you can see right here. And then you can take a look at content that's new this week. And then you can take a look at a lot of content depending on the area you live in. As you can see, live in Boston, so it's offering heavy coverage of the Boston Marathon and more local news in the Boston area. They also offer content from across the country via local horse stations. So just keep that notice of Boston locals, crime comps and capers, and more stuff relating to Boston. And again, depending on where you live, you get a whole different range of content tailored to your area. So I have the news here, the top area, so you can take a look at the latest news locally. As you can see, I'm getting a replay of local news. So I can get that here. Plus, I can check out the weather. So you can take a look at the forecast, video of it, and then you have original content. It has a nice carousel here where you can see it for yourself. And then you can take a look at the search if you want to take a look at content that you want to search here. And then when we go into settings, we can get access to a lot of different local stations. Like if you live in Florida, for example, now you're going to get a completely different home screen where you can take a look at more local news content, this time in a different area. And you can take a look at original content tailored to that particular reason. Mainly, we pick Orlando, so we're getting content from Orlando, Florida. And you can take a look at the genres and categories related to that local channel. Same thing with all of the other locals that you can check out in the settings. Depending on where you live, Very Local is going to use that hard station that is located in that area to give you your news from there. But at the bottom, if you want to take a look at a national range of news, you can take a look at Very Local at the very bottom, and it's going to give you content from all across the country. So you can take a look at that here and take a look at all the local and national content that Hearst is offering through its local stations and through the Very Local. And then you have the live area here where you can take a look at all of the live stations from all across the country. But again, if you live in the Boston area, if you live in the area of Massachusetts, and I would assume all of New England, this is the place to go to check out the Boston Marathon come Monday, April 17th on your Roku device. This is the free way to access it. Very local. If you live in Boston, if you live in Massachusetts, I want to say New Hampshire too, or the New England area, this is where you can get access to the Boston Marathon for free come next week on Roku. Again, I cannot guarantee if you live in New York or Florida, you will be able to get it for free. I doubt that's the case. Now, if you do want to watch it, of course, you're going to have to pay for a subscription service, a live TV channel that offers ESPN, so you can check that out. But again, if you live in Massachusetts, this is the place to check out live covers of the Boston Marathon for free come Monday, April 17th. Alright, that's it for this edition of Roku Now. Hopefully you got the most out of your Roku experience for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.